For this week's reading lineup, we have Daggermouth and also Catalina. Okay. Very true. The flashbacks are the reason why I'm about to start freaking crying. It's more of like PTSD, not going to lie. She's crying too.
Lady Penwood, may I help you?
Am I trauma dumping on y'all? Hi, good morning everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Anna and I make bookish content as a 9-to-5 girly. And speaking of, I thought for this week I wanted to do a reading log of a 9-to-5 bookish girly. So we're gonna see how much I read in a week while also having a 9-to-5. I don't have a traditional schedule in the sense of 9-to-5. I work 4/10s, meaning I work 4 days a week for 10 hours a day. I have an extra day off, and that day off is Mondays, and I absolutely love that. I have been looking for a new job since I got my master's, and I haven't had any luck. It's an area in my life that I am struggling with and currently going through it, but at last we will continue to strive. The fact that I have every Monday off makes me not go insane. Anyways, we're going to Pilates. I'm going to be completely honest. I almost canceled my class and accepted the $15 fee. But my account's not looking like it can afford $15 fee. So we have to go. I have to go. And I come prepared with my Alani Nu. Ooh. Cheers. For this week's reading lineup, we have Daggermouth and also Catalina. I am hoping I finish both of those books in the middle of the week, if not by the end of the week. I will have to say that Daggermouth was not part of my TBR, but I did say, I posted it on TikTok. Go follow me on TikTok, please, that I was going to allow myself to one mood read, and Daggermouth is that mood reading book that I chose for this. Expecting that at all. I'm reading Daggermouth and I think I'm in I just finished chapter 8. So if you read chapter 8, you know what I'm talking about. I wasn't expecting for that to be the reason it turns into enemies. Well, the reason for it to be enemies to lovers. I don't know what I was expecting, but not this. think this is a flattering angle, but whatever, we'll do. I am currently reading Catalina, and I am starting on page 56. I'm hoping to read an hour till 3, and then at 3, I'm going to film my review for Chain Gang All Stars. I'm kind of scared, not going to lie. I don't know how to articulate my thoughts, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to record. If I don't feel confident enough, I'm still going to post a review on my Instagram, but like a written review. But anyways, we're going to read for an hour, and I am annotating. Let's set a timer up. And there you go, an hour. Okay, let me share this gem. She's talking about her anthropology classes and the various types of Latinas that they are at Harvard as well. And she starts off by saying, Telemundo had told us that Latinas look like Mexican polished born actress for so long that I've almost forgotten what we looked like. Whatever our cinematic personal fantasy was, we were almost all descendants of annihilated peoples. Okay. Very true. Another gem. My grandfather and Harvard anthropologists tag teamed my education on the Americas, and the truth is they agreed on the basic story. First came the Spaniards, and with them the church. Then came petroleum, then came cocaine, then came NAFTA, and now we're all fucked. I really liked how she included her grandfather in this quote. I would say that she's not only getting, perhaps she's getting first person record and experiences of the displacement of so many Latinas from Central South American countries due to the United States. But it's interesting to me, at least, that we sometimes, well, I don't want to say we, because I believe my peeps. People often don't believe firsthand accounts, but they agree or believe the professionals, the anthropologists, the ones that study it. And I'm like, well, what about the people that lived it? But also, not in the, my opinions are facts, but more of like my experience is what, my accounts of my experience is what is on this research. Am I making sense? Oh, I feel smart. Or vindicated because of what I was saying. So then she's talking about she had to write a paper with, and one of the professors is actually, he's a Latin American professor, and he is just teaching at Harvard. And her first sentence to her essay was, while I have seen cocaine, I have never laid my eyes on coca, the sacred plant my ancestors used ceremoniously. And then the professor basically tells her, this is fantastic, but I'm deducting points because you needed to use first a primary source. And she's like, I am the primary source. What are you talking about? So I was just saying that. I'm getting a little emotional because she started talking about the Dream Act and how it was constantly being challenged. She's with her friend after drinks and they're talking about a boy that she likes. And her friend, they're stalking his Facebook, and her friend is like, I think he's single. Do you like him? And she just bursted out saying the Dream Act, what is it? Next week, the Dream Act is going to be debated in the Senate. This reminded me of conversations I myself had with my friends. One day we're talking about finals, and then the next we're talking about, oh yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford school because the Dream Act might not even exist still. It was never a certain thing, but it was always a constant state of anxiety, not knowing what was going to happen to me and thousands of millions of students. It just felt too familiar when she is having fun. They're teasing each other about like boys, and then suddenly she just remembers what's happening. And then she talks about how this friendship was strained due to the fact that she didn't register to vote and she didn't vote. And in real life, I have also lost friendships because they choose to not see the importance of it, or at least make me feel like it's not that deep when it is that deep. I don't know if it makes any sense, but oh my god, I'm like the flashbacks are the reason why I'm about to start freaking crying. It's more of like PTSD, not going to lie. This whole passage, I hold on, let me annotate it and gather my thoughts. Another it just keeps get hitting close to home. There's a protest going, right? And her friend, she doesn't want to go alone, and her friend agrees to it. And then she explains that she didn't want to go alone out of fear, and she also didn't want many people to know about her status out of fear, and that included maybe not participating in any protest, any sittings, or anything that will advocate for this bill out of fear. And I 100% have felt that. Oh, and then she goes on saying that if the past somehow did, if the Dream Act somehow did pass, she didn't want to go back and realize she never did anything to advocate for the bill or fight for the bill. Like whether she does it or not, she will benefit from it and she will be able to have a life. And that's what she says. Like, I be able to have a life. I think I'm having a lot of flashbacks, and I appreciate them because they taught me so much, and I am the person I am because of this part of my life. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna stop here. I have 7 minutes left to go, but 40 minutes, that's still good. I landed on page 71. I need to go record my. Why am I like this? I have to record my review for Chain Gang All Stars, and then I'm a little bit hungry, but I think I'm gonna just wait for dinner. Then I have to start dinner. And for that, so I recorded my review for Chain Gang All Stars, and I don't know if it's gonna see the day. What is that? Oh my god, why can't I not? I'm really bad with sayings. Like they're in here, but they don't come out correctly. I don't know if it will see day and night. A day and light. A light and day. You know what I mean. Anyways, yes, I don't know if it's going to be posted, but at least I did it. I'm trying to practice more of my book reviews. I stopped in the middle of page 71, so I want to get to page 100 by 8 or before we have dinner. I don't know. It has come to my own attention that every time I say I want to do something when it comes to reading, I do the complete opposite. So I should just think it and not say it out loud so it can actually happen. She is so cynical too, in like the most self-absorbed but amazing, confident way. I think I said this already, but I'm gonna say it again. It is so refreshing seeing an undocumented character be written in a witty, funny, cynical way. And nothing tragic, at least not in the first 84 pages. Yes, I did tear up a little, but it was like more nuanced. Like she was talking about the Dream Act and her reaction to it. And it just brought up memories to me. That's why I got a little emotional. But other than that, I just loved the fact that she's just living and being a student at Harvard and having all these anecdotes where people are like stupid. I agree with her. Some of these people I'm like, yikes, you know? It's Tuesday. I'm at work. I am about to take my first break, but I think I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to read on my Kindle. And I'm taking a walk because for the rest of the week, even next week, it looks like we're going to be in the high 80s, low 90s, and I won't be able to take walks. And also, I'm not working out today. So, I need to go move my body for a bit. But yeah. It is lunchtime. I'm going to eat first, watch Bridgerton, and then read some. But before that, let me share my lunch. It's so basic too. I don't even know why. But it's fun. Okay, so the first thing I have is Valentina because we are having some chips. My Coke Zero. It's Coke Zero or nothing. I do not like Diet Pepsi or Coke. I'm sorry. I do not like Coke. I do not like Pepsi whatsoever. Anyways, I have a regular sandwich with ham, bacon, cheese, jalapeno, and pickled carrots. And then lastly, I have baked hot Cheetos. Wait, what? I'm setting up. I guess I can show you. Dun, dun. Netflix. Bridgerton. I'm literally on the first episode only, so. To read Catalina for just 10 minutes. morning. Hi, it is now Wednesday, March 11th. And when was the last time I talked to y'all? I, in fact, did not read. I watched the last episode of Drive to Survive season 8 with my husband while we were having dinner. And then after having dinner and still watching the episode, I started importing clips from my camera into my laptop for this vlog. It's our first break of the day, 15 minutes. You know the drill by now. I fear that this might be a little bit too repetitive because it is during the week. To be completely honest, this is the most realistic thing I ever do, and that is read inside my car during my 9 to 5. But I think it's important to share this part too and just show that, not everyone is a book influencer and some of us have jobs. Oh my God, I sound like a hater. Maybe a little bit. Like, I wish I can get paid just to read. One day. I hope you don't get bored of my vlogs in the car. But that's just what it is. It is what it is. And I work with what I have. And this is what I currently have. And I still get my reading done. I think that's all that I care about. And that's what I want to share. 15 minutes. Let's set it up. And I'm still reading Catalina. I made it to the page 112. I hope I get to finish it by Friday. I'm going to be completely realistic. I'm not finishing this book today or tomorrow. And as always, I got my tools, pen and a highlighter. I'm going to read a small little passage that pretty much sums up the experience of immigrants when they try to seek help, or the reason why many of us don't seek any medical or dental. In this case, it was a dental care. It's a procedure that's done. Grandma comes out looking like she got beat up, bruised all over, and both Catalina and her grandfather are pissed, but they don't say anything. So we walked out in silence. My grandfather was pissed, but he didn't say anything. He could have asked for another nurse or instead on the doctor or asked for a patient's advocate. But he did not have the linguistic capability to make a case for anything in a room full of American citizen medical professionals. Besides, the doctors and nurses and students who worked there did not really believe they owned explanations of their schooling, wisdom, or expertise to people who so badly needed them in the first place. People who have been in this country for years and seem unable or willing to absorb English. People who seem extraordinarily good at finding every loophole in the law so that their children had access to school. Their children had health insurance, free lunch at school. Having compassion for them didn't mean you took orders from them, especially when they complained about your work when you were already doing them a goddamn favor. Time is up, but I'm going to finish this page before I leave. Her relationship with her grandpa reminds me a lot of the relationship I have with my dad. And it's a loving yet a very frustrating relationship as well. And we're both alike. That's the thing. And stubborn, and we're both right. So when they say, like, I am my mother's daughter, I'm like, no, I am my father's daughter. I will cause havoc just like he would too. And it's just like, wow. Like, I'm like reading and it's like, oh my God, is that how we look or sound to people around us when we're fucking arguing? Okay, now I do gotta go. Bye. I'm back. It's lunchtime and I'm eating the same thing as yesterday. Not me tearing up over the scene with Lady Danbury and the Queen's butler talk about how the Queen is sad and struggling. And I'm like, oh my god, that is so beautiful. And sometimes it's like, it'd be like that when you miss your friends. And I'm here like crying over that. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene. I was like, why is she being such a bitch? But now we know, like, she's struggling. She don't want to lose her friend. She's crying too.
Lady Penwood, may I help you?
Okay, clearly I didn't have any time to read because Bridgerton got intense. Finally, because the first episode, maybe the first two episodes were boring. I was like, let's get to it. I did something bad. I was scrolling through the skip the line on the Libby app and I found a book. Once again, making decisions based off my mood. I started reading Good and Evil and Other Stories by Samantha Schwalbling, and I believe, yeah, she's Argentinian, so this is translator work, and it's short stories, and it's like 152 pages. I was like, why not? Let me challenge myself and add another book into my March TBR. But you know what? I always do this to myself. I say like, oh, it's a short book. It's okay. The shortest books are the ones that take me the longest. Like, it takes me like 2 weeks to finish a short week. And not because like, I don't know. Something happened. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this book. Hi, it is Thursday morning. It's my first break of the day and we're going to read for 15 minutes yet again. We know the drill. The problem with being an object of beauty, a beautiful object, is that you exist only when you're looked at, and thus to remain alive, you must be constantly looked at. The way some sharks need to be in motion to breathe. It feels like soul death when their eyes are off you. I love this style of, well, the way she wrote this book, because literally a paragraph before this beautiful quote, she's literally making fun of Roosevelt and his love for animals, yet he's killing the animals and keeping them there to be looked at. And then she says this gem, like, that's the problem with being a beautiful thing. Like, you are constantly being looked at, but then when you're not looked at, it's like a soul death. So it's like, it's funny and then it's not. Drinking could have been another way to cope, but the problem with drinking is that I threw up very quickly and I didn't want to die choking on my own vomit, on my knees, on a toilet. So I just put myself to bed. Same, but because alcoholism runs in my family and I know that alcoholism can be genetic as well, and I am not about that life. So I am sober purposefully because I'm not playing around with those genes. I've seen what it does to people, so I too put myself to bed. Am I trauma dumping on y'all? She's clearly depressed about her future because obviously she's undocumented, cannot really work. And at this time, I believe there was no DACA in place yet. And she's depressed. And I understand that. I also went through that of not knowing what was going to happen. And on one end, you have grandma trying to... Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a little emotional again, so we're not doing that actually. But I did want to share this. My grandfather, for his part, wanted me to think away the sadness. And I think that is, undocumented or not, in general, in the Latino community, depression or mental health is not a thing. And we just have to stop thinking that way. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Like, yes, I wish I could have just thought about happy thoughts and my depression be gone. Fortunately, that's not how it worked. Okay, but it's 106 degrees, at least inside my car. Freaking hot. I had to put my sweater because the sun was just, it was going to be impossible to be here, but I need to get out of that cubicle into my car. I'm so curious as to where the story is going to take us. 15 minutes. All right, time's up. I need a nap. I am so exhausted. I finished Catalina during my break, allegedly. Shh, that's our secret. And it wrecked me. I cried at the ending. It was totally unexpected, yet expected. It was so realistic, and it happens to so many of us, so many of our undocumented parents, so many of our undocumented grandparents, so many of our friends or peers, anyone. And I'm still processing how I feel about the book or what to say about the book. But off the bat, it's a 5-star. I knew it was going to be a 5-star for me. And yes, maybe I'm a little biased because it was particularly about an undocumented college student. But I just, I don't care. I'm going to rate this highly so other people are encouraged to read it. I loved Catalina. She annoyed the shit out of me. But it was nice to see her represented as a nuanced character, and obviously she had her trauma, and it's not to say that she wasn't like any other undocumented person when she wasn't really thinking about it. If anything, I feel like it made her cynical and what's the word I'm looking for? And delusional in many ways. But obviously it also caught up to her having depression, and that's something I can totally relate to. And I love it. I love Catalina. Catalina is me. I am Catalina. Catalina is all of the undocumented students, dreamers, documented, whatever it is. I loved it so freaking much. And I think it has inspired me to look into how to write a book, or maybe short stories, into more characters like that. She was also an anomaly. Is that how you say the word? Because she was undocumented but was at Harvard. So it obviously that in it of itself had carried so much privilege as well, where yeah. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I loved it.